Hey there, Middle-earth strategy battle gamers. So I'm here with probably is going to be the last. I've done a few other videos like this. This is going to be the last video I do like this, kind of post rules theory and kind of just excitement. So um, basically, we're a little less than a month away from Nova. I know Arcticon, I believe, is this weekend, uh, and they've announced some pre-orders for the new models there. So there's a lot of excitement and buzz going on right now. I personally am excited, very excited. I think that this is our time. This is what many strategy battle gamers have been kind of waiting for and looking to do to make our kind of voice heard. So, going into that, I'd like to talk a little bit about a kind of theory, something I've been thinking about the last few days. Um, so it's really no secret that this there are two new books coming out. One is going to be the rules manual, which of course is going to have the rules for the game system, the next edition, uh, which I'm expecting changes to that by itself. But what I'm actually truly interested in, like what really excites me, is that there's a book coming out that has every single army in it. So that means that every single army in the game currently, so the Eastern Kingdoms, Rohan, Gondor, Isengard, Mordor, uh, um, Shire, Lothlorien, Mirkwood, Durin's Folk, Wanderers in the Wild, just all the profiles we're expecting. I personally am expecting to change. Now, what does this mean? So first off, one of the reasons why I'm excited for this is because when you've been playing the game, when the Kingdoms of Men, Mordor, Free Peoples, Fallen Realms books came out, I picked up a copy within the week of it coming out. Being a huge Rohan player at the time, got a copy, and I sifted through the book pretty quickly, and I realized there were some changes here and there, but not really a whole lot. I mean, like my favorite character for Rohan is Theoden. He was virtually the same. Of course, Eric and Brand changed a lot. Eric and Brand is the reason to take Rohan. If Eric and Brand wasn't what he is now, it would make playing Rohan a whole lot harder, which I used to do. So I'm using this as an example, though. When those books came out, it was ecstatic because everyone was like, it's going to change. The dynamics of armies are going to change, and this, that, and the other. Well, that's partially true. Quite a few armies, like uh, Rivendell, Eregion. I remember my friend had Gil-galad. When he read that you could upgrade basic warriors to fight value 6, he was ecstatic. So, what I'm expecting now is virtually the same thing. Every army is going to change. Now, I actually think that the changes are going to be a little bit more vast than what they were then. We're looking at armies like Rohan, where it's already, I think, been said multiple times that Theoden King is going to be changed. And I think we have to look at who's writing the rules. The guys that are writing the rules now wrote the rules for their own back end, of course, and the changes they made to Lake Town made them a very streamlined, versatile force. And I'm saying this, they have a really cool way of playing. The heroes really buff the troops. You basically play them together as a unit. It's just a really cool way. Now, again, you look at Iron Hills. You can not take Dane, but taking Dane gives you that much more advantage. And then of course, there's Erebor Reclaimed, which Thorn, again, taking Thorn gives your army bonuses. So, I'm expecting the same treatment that their Mackin had to the Lord of the Rings stuff. One thing, in my opinion, that Lord of the Rings stuff has lacked since there and back again stuff came out was the armies being streamlined. So, granted, I think some of the Lord of the Rings armies are still very solid, of course. But to kind of just the way the game has progressed through the years, you went from the 5 source books, you went from the Hobbit there and back in, you went from Desolation of Smaug, you went to the small battle of 5 armies, then you went to there and back in, and then it's gone full circle into a new rules edition and into new profiles. And then also, it's compounded by the fact that when the other source books came out, Kingdoms of Men, Free Peoples, Mordor, Fallen Realms, and more and Angmar, I always forget about that one. Just the one out. Those weren't accompanied by a new rules book, so they were still using the Lord of the Rings rules. So not only are we getting all these new profiles, but we're also getting a new rule set, which I'm sure there's going to be plenty of. So I also want to talk about, there's been some pictures that have been released from Gen Con, where people, they were able to get behind the display and take pictures of the book, and it had, you could read the fine print on the back, and one of the little bullet points says a ally matrix, and that part actually makes me very interested, because you look at games like Warhammer 40k, where they implemented a matrix, an allied matrix, and basically this matrix allowed players to align certain armies together in a list. So if you're a member of the Imperium, then you can, I think, freely ally. This was back in 6th edition, or 7th edition, sorry. So my memory is not too much. I haven't played 40k. I played a few games, but of 7th. But so here's why I'm really excited about that allied matrix, though. It basically allowed you to align with certain armies, and it wouldn't have a negative effect unless you start allying in with certain things, and you have to make courage tests and stuff like that. So there was a little bit of a matrix, hence the word. But here's what I'm thinking. There have been forces in the game, especially with the last 5 source books that came out, such as the Fellowship, such as the White Council, such as the Wanderers in the Wild, that are such small factions, and especially in tournaments, and in U.S. tournaments specifically, there normally are restrictions on how many allies you can take. So, for instance, I really like Legolas. Not just his rules and the way he plays in the game, but he's my favorite character. I want to use Legolas in almost every list I make, but it becomes hard when I'm okay. Am I going to sacrifice this element? Am I going to sacrifice not taking a caster to take Legolas? Now, of course, for me, it's normally an easy pick because I'm not too great with magic, and I've talked about this in other videos. I would prefer to have that extra martial hero, and to me, Legolas can do both. He could be a good shooting hero and a good martial hero. But anyway, the idea that you can have the Fellowship, because also you gotta look at the army bonuses. Gimli, Legolas, some of the key characters that were in, like Gimli was in Durin's Foot, Legolas was in Lothr and Mirkwood. I think we all can guess Mirkwood has become its own force, which I'm fine with because I got my Thranduil's Hall's army. I'm covered on that. I'm thinking that members from the Fellowship, perhaps, White Council, and I'm sure there are going to be ones for evil. I'm kind of looking at the army bonuses. You got like the Variags of Khond. You got the Sharky Ruffians, the Sharky's Rogues. I have a feeling that you're going to be able to ally certain things together and maybe even have army bonuses. That's just a theory. I'm not too certain on that, but that's just an idea. And that's really what this new edition has done for me. It's given me this insight, and it's not out yet. And we'll see whenever it comes up. But I'm very excited because of all the options, all the things that can happen. And that's really what I think I personally need in the hobby right now. is because, you know, we start talking about playing the same army, going to the same events, going to film battle reports, going to do this, that, and the other, and it's all the same. So I think having new profiles, having a new maybe alliance system, having new rules, it's going to make the game very fresh. I'm thinking probably this winter I'm going to be playing games once or twice a week, which we kind of do now, somewhat. I haven't been able to film a battle report in a while, uh, but I'm hoping that'll change. And we're also talking with several other people um, about perhaps filming a few battle reports at Nova, like we did last year. I have two guys that specifically I have about three guys I'm specifically looking to try and get on our channel. All three of them of which would be great. So stay tuned for that, guys. But yeah, basically, the way I see it is the game system I think is about to be revitalized. You look at the Great British Hobbit League, you look at the American Strategy Battle Game Alliance, and even our own personal Charlotte Facebook page. All the Facebook pages are growing tremendously fast. ASBGA just cleared 500 members. The local Charlotte one, we've gotten like 3 or 4 people ever since they announced the new rules. Just coming on saying, hey guys, I'm really interested in this game. So I think you can expect more of that. That's why I'm really excited about this new edition. It's doing what I think everyone knew it would do. And that's kind of been the misconception, even though we know people who play the game and attend events regularly, you know, we know that the game is being supported, and we know that there's this huge, thriving kind of future. But there are a lot of people out there who don't know. In fact, when we go to, there are really 3 gaming stores our group of guys go to practice for tournaments, play games, do whatever. There are people who walk up to our tables and say, is this Lord of the Rings? And we're like, yeah. They're like, we haven't played this in a decade. Is it still supported? And we're like, yeah. And then there are some people who say, oh, Lord of the Rings, I saw that they have some really new cool Forge World models. We just didn't know people around us play. So that's kind of one of the key things with this new edition coming out is, you know, our player group I think needs to be active, especially if you're really wanting to have a group of friends to play with, or you know, you want to try and push the game more in your area. Going out and playing, bringing the new rules book. I plan on buying the new starter set, even though I own all the models in it, minus the new Theoden, because I plan on perhaps using that to help get new players in. You know, because I'm sure that they're gonna there's gonna be like a scenarios for it and stuff. So there's a huge buzz. You gotta look. Got massive amount of people flocking to Facebook. You have lots of interest. And side note, this picture, the orc with the helmet used to scare me as a kid a lot, just so you know. Side note. By the way, I believe these 2 models were the 2 of the ones that are going to be available at Articon for pre-order. So, can't wait to see maybe a few unboxings of those. I more than likely will get one. I actually have Gurritz. I have the metal one. He used to be a Morannon captain model. So, but yeah, so we can expect to see more models come out too. That's another thing. Is one of the reasons why I think the game is taking, like, the new rules and stuff have taken so long is, you know, we were talking amongst ourselves, or, you know, our group of players. They might be bigger than we all expected. I mean, you have to think, there are a lot of out-of-print models. A lot of them to be expected to be back in print, especially guys like Halbarad, you know, the Fiefdoms guys who were out of print. I fully expect to see that. I mean, I just think it's hard to fathom how big I think this is gonna be, and that's the reason. Right now is actually the most excited I've ever been for the game, and that's really the reason. Is there's just infinite amount of stuff they can do, and I think they're going to do. I mean, I think they're going to utilize a lot of it. The Games Workshop, uh, the box set that had older models in it sparked a huge interest. So imagine what the new models are going to do, like the fiefdom guys and these two, and the new Gondor guys, and we don't even know. Like, that's just the thing. We don't know what Rohan's getting in terms of new characters. We don't know what Arnor's getting. We also look at armies like Mordor and Haradrim and Isengard. They could be getting a lot of new characters. Now, here's the thing, kind of a fun theory is what if Bree becomes an army? We could have a lot of characters from that. Or make them a part of the Shire. That'd be pretty cool. But anyway, this video is running a little bit long, so I'm going to go and try and wrap it up here. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Happy wargaming. I'll see you guys in the next video, and stay tuned because we expect to fully utilize the new rules and Nova and things like that to try and produce content. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.